Charmed captivated millions with its magical stories and iconic cast. But behind the scenes, life wasn't always as enchanting. Accidents, personal struggles, and unexpected twists sent many of the beloved stars down dark and difficult paths. As we step into 2025, fans are left wondering, where are they now? Join us as we uncover the shocking turns their lives have taken and find out what happened after the magic faded. Alyssa Milano, who portrayed Phoebe Halliwell in Charmed, was just 26 years old when she brought to life the witty, spontaneous sister gifted with the power of premonition. Her playful energy and emotional depth made Phoebe a fan favorite. Behind the scenes, Milano's life unfolded less brightly. After Charmed, her career faced a turbulent path with sporadic roles and public struggles with autoimmune illness. She married agent David Buglieri in 2009. They had 2 children, Milo and Elisabella, but their relationship often suffered under the pressure of Alyssa's activism and work commitments. The couple quietly separated in 2022. Milano faced 5 major tragedies: a public sexual harassment lawsuit, miscarriages, the death of her mother, bankruptcy rumors, and mental health battles. Now 52, she remains active in small productions and charity causes but far from the A-list spotlight. She currently lives in Los Angeles in a modest $2.5 million home. Her estimated estate stands at around $4 million, significantly less than during her peak fame. Despite personal losses, Milano maintains a resilient spirit, often reflecting on the chaotic beauty of her youth and her complicated journey through fame. Rose McGowan, who took on the role of Paige Matthews at 25, infused Charmed with a fiery, rebellious energy as the resourceful half-sister able to teleport objects. Her edgy charisma captivated audiences. However, McGowan's post-show life veered into profound turbulence. Following a string of minor acting roles, her career crumbled under Hollywood blacklisting after she became a prominent voice against sexual assault in the industry. She was briefly engaged to Marilyn Manson, later marrying artist Davey Detail, a union that ended in an acrimonious divorce in 2016. She has no children, often citing her distrust of the traditional family model due to a traumatic childhood. 5 key tragedies shaped her life: a devastating car accident, being stalked by private investigators, public character assassination, severe financial losses, and battles with substance abuse. Now 51, McGowan lives quietly in Mexico, writing poetry and memoirs. Her current estate is estimated at a mere $500,000, a stark contrast to her former Hollywood wealth. Rose remains defiant and fiercely independent, though she admits to bouts of loneliness and the long shadows of her once glamorous, now fractured past. Brian Krause, who brought Leo Wyatt to life at 29, portrayed the devoted Whylighter whose compassion anchored Piper's chaotic magical life. His calm presence and earnest performance won hearts. Yet after Charmed, Krause struggled to find meaningful work, with most roles relegated to low-budget films and short TV guest spots. His marriage to Beth Bruce collapsed under financial strain and the pressure of his faltering career. They share one son, Jamin, but the relationship remains strained. 5 tragic turns darkened his journey: foreclosure on his home, long-term unemployment, alcoholism, a high-profile arrest, and publicized depression. Now 56, Krause continues acting sporadically but mostly appears at fan conventions to support himself. Living in a modest apartment in California, his estate is estimated at around $300,000, a sobering contrast to his earlier fame. Despite facing significant personal demons, Krause often speaks optimistically about second chances, though his life story stands as a quiet testament to the cruel aftermath of early fame and fading stardom. Holly Marie Combs, embodying Piper Halliwell at 25, captured the audience with her portrayal of the strong-willed middle sister who could freeze time. Her grounded, maternal energy made Piper the emotional core of Charmed. Sadly, Combs' life mirrored Piper's burdens in unexpected ways. After the show, she married twice, first to Brian Travis Smith, then to David Donahoe, with whom she had 3 sons, Finley, Riley, and Kelly. Both marriages ended painfully in divorce, attributed to long-distance work separations and infidelity rumors. 5 major heartbreaks colored her personal narrative: a serious car accident, miscarriage, financial losses from poor investments, estrangement from close friends, and a secret cancer battle that she later survived. Now 51, Combs has largely retreated from the spotlight, preferring life on a quiet Texas ranch with her sons. Her estimated estate hovers around $3 million, built from careful savings and residuals rather than active work. She occasionally appears at fan events but otherwise leads a reclusive life, reflecting the bittersweet cost of youthful fame and hard-won inner peace. Julian McMahon, who portrayed Cole Turner in Charmed, was 32 years old when he stepped into the role of the conflicted half-demon struggling between his dark lineage and his deep love for Phoebe Halliwell. His charismatic performance made Cole one of the show's most unforgettable figures. Despite his success on screen, McMahon's personal life has been tumultuous. He married Dani Minogue, but the marriage quickly unraveled, marred by conflicting career priorities and distance. They had no children. Later, he married Brooke Burns, with whom he had 1 daughter, Madison, but this marriage also ended in a bitter divorce. His relationships often mirrored the chaos of his characters, filled with passion but marred by misunderstandings and long separations. Struggling with typecasting after Charmed, McMahon faced years of fluctuating roles, financial instability, and loneliness. His life was further marked by 5 major personal tragedies, including the loss of close friends and a near-fatal health scare. Now 56, Julian lives a relatively quiet life in Los Angeles, dabbling in occasional TV roles and personal projects. His estimated net worth is about $4 million, a sharp decline from his peak earnings. Although he once lived lavishly, today he favors a more minimalist, introspective lifestyle, cherishing time with his daughter and maintaining a small but loyal circle of friends. Drew Fuller, who embodied Chris Halliwell in Charmed, was just 23 when he took on the role of the determined, time-traveling son fighting to save his family's future. With a boyish charm and intense drive, Fuller quickly won over audiences. Behind the scenes, however, his life was far from the idyllic one fans imagined. Drew's struggle to transition to adult roles post-Charmed led him into a long period of career stagnation and depression. He was briefly married to a non-celebrity named Sarah Carter. The marriage, strained by Drew's anxiety and career frustration, lasted only 3 years. They had 1 daughter, Ava Grace, whom Fuller remains close to despite a painful custody battle. Drew faced significant challenges with his estranged parents, who disapproved of his career choice and lifestyle. Adding to his hardship, he survived a serious car accident in 2011 that left him with lingering health issues. Now 44, Drew leads a quieter existence, pursuing photography and small independent film projects. His current estimated net worth is around $1.5 million. He lives a modest life in Northern California, focused on personal healing, outdoor exploration, and raising his daughter far from Hollywood's chaos. Ted King, who brought Andy Trudeau to life on Charmed, was 33 when he played the kind-hearted detective entangled in the magical chaos of the Halliwell sisters. His portrayal of Andy's quiet strength and tragic love for Prue resonated deeply with audiences. King's life off-screen, however, has been laden with personal turmoil. He married Maya Rodwell, a costume designer, but the union was fraught with betrayal and professional jealousy, ultimately dissolving in a contentious divorce. They had 2 children, Olivia and Caleb, but custody disputes and public arguments often tarnished his image. King also experienced the devastating loss of a sibling to cancer, a financial betrayal by a former manager, and 2 major career downfalls that nearly ended his acting prospects. Despite these hardships, King has remained resilient, maintaining a steady presence in soap operas and guest starring on television series. Now 60, he lives a relatively low-profile life in New York City. His estimated estate is valued at approximately $2 million. Ted now focuses more on theater and mentoring young actors, channeling his past struggles into teaching the next generation about the highs and lows of the entertainment industry. Kaley Cuoco, who portrayed the spirited Billie Jenkins in Charmed at just 20 years old, quickly became a standout character as the Halliwells' bright but impulsive protégé. Billie's drive to master her powers paralleled Kaley's own ambitions in Hollywood. Despite her bright public image, Kaley's personal life has been marked by significant turbulence. She married tennis player Ryan Sweeting in 2013 after a whirlwind romance, but their union ended bitterly in divorce just 2 years later amid allegations of substance abuse and emotional distance. She later married equestrian Carl Cook, only to announce a surprising split in 2021, citing fundamental differences. Cuoco has no children but has often spoken about her desire to someday start a family. Her career after Charmed soared, most notably starring in The Big Bang Theory, but she privately struggled with anxiety and depression, issues that worsened after her divorces. She also endured severe injuries from horseback riding accidents, adding physical trauma to emotional scars. Now 39, Kaley is estimated to have a net worth of around $100 million, yet she remains candid about feeling lonely at the height of her success. Living in a lavish estate in California, she has shifted her focus toward producing but continues to battle personal demons behind the scenes. Shannen Doherty, who played the fiercely independent and powerful Prue Halliwell at age 27, brought both grit and vulnerability to the role of the eldest Charmed sister. Prue's leadership qualities mirrored Shannon's strong-willed nature in real life, a trait that unfortunately led to numerous on-set conflicts. Her personal life has been equally tumultuous. She was married 3 times, first to Ashley Hamilton, then Rick Salomon, and finally Curtis Warienko. But none of her marriages lasted, each crumbling under pressures of fame and personal struggles. Doherty never had children, a source of profound sadness she once revealed in interviews. After her departure from Charmed amid controversy, her career dimmed, haunted by a difficult reputation. She battled multiple tragedies, a 2001 cancer scare, financial troubles, and the devastating diagnosis of stage 4 breast cancer in 2015. Shannon has undergone brutal treatments while advocating bravely for cancer awareness, offering glimpses into her painful journey through social media. Now 54, Doherty's fortune has dwindled to an estimated $1 million, much of it spent on medical expenses. She currently lives quietly, far from Hollywood's spotlight, surrounded by a small circle of loyal friends. Jennifer Rhodes, who captured hearts as Penny Halliwell, the wise and fierce grandmother guiding the Halliwell sisters, was already a seasoned actress at 53 when she joined Charmed. Penny's pragmatic magic and steely resolve mirrored Jennifer's own survival instincts off-screen. Despite her strong on-screen persona, Rhodes led a lonely life. Her marriage to actor Jordan Rhodes ended in divorce after a tumultuous decade marked by conflicting ambitions and periods of estrangement. They had no children, a silence in her life that she has rarely discussed publicly. After Charmed, Jennifer's acting opportunities dwindled, and she often found herself typecast, struggling financially between sporadic television appearances. Tragedy struck multiple times as she cared for ailing relatives while facing her own health issues, including a near-fatal heart attack in her 70s. Now 82 years old, she lives a quiet life in a modest apartment complex for retired performers in Los Angeles. Jennifer's estate is modest, valued around $300,000, mostly from residuals and a few investments. Despite her hardships, she remains a beloved figure at fan conventions, where her wisdom and humor continue to inspire longtime Charmed fans. Greg Vaughn, who charmed audiences as Dan Gordon, the warm-hearted neighbor vying for Piper's affections at just 26, carried the same sensitive, grounded energy into his real life. Yet Vaughn's path after Charmed was anything but steady. He found some success in soap operas like General Hospital and Days of Our Lives, but his personal life faltered. He married actress Taria Howard, and they had 3 sons together, Jathan, Kevin, and Landon. However, the marriage crumbled under the strain of Vaughn's erratic work schedule and battles with depression, leading to a painful divorce in 2014. The custody arrangements were contentious, and Vaughn has candidly spoken about the guilt and loneliness he felt missing milestones in his children's lives. He also struggled with career stagnation and financial instability, forcing him to downsize his living situation significantly. Vaughn endured a devastating motorcycle accident in 2017, which sidelined him for months and contributed to ongoing physical pain. Now 50 years old, he remains active in soap operas but lives more modestly than many of his peers, with an estimated net worth of $750,000. Vaughn resides quietly in Texas, prioritizing his role as a father above all else, even as the glare of fame has long since faded. Michael Bailey Smith, who portrayed Balthazar in Charm, was 41 years old when he took on the role of the terrifying demon form of Cole Turner, delivering a menacing yet deeply conflicted performance that captivated audiences. Despite his towering success as a character actor, Smith's personal life was marred by hardship. Married young to college sweetheart Laura Richardson, their marriage dissolved after 8 tumultuous years due to the strains of Hollywood life. They had 2 children, Kyle and Sophia, both of whom later distanced themselves from the entertainment industry and from Smith himself. His second marriage to publicist Andrea Collins also ended in a quiet, bitter divorce. Financial struggles shadowed his post-Charmed career as roles dwindled, and he was forced to downsize from a sprawling Los Angeles home to a modest Arizona apartment. Smith battled chronic health issues later in life, including a serious back injury and depression. Though he continued acting sporadically, he never regained his early success. Now 66 years old, he lives a relatively secluded life, focusing on painting and occasional fan conventions. His estimated net worth is about $500,000, having lost much of his earnings to medical bills and failed investments. James Reed, who portrayed Victor Bennett, the loving but often absent father of the Halliwell sisters in Charm, was 48 when he joined the show. His calm, protective presence became a touchstone for viewers amidst the show's chaos. Yet behind his composed screen persona, Reed endured a series of painful personal challenges. He married actress Wendy Kilborn in 1988, a union that at first seemed idyllic but was privately riddled with tension, largely due to his long work absences and her eventual withdrawal from acting. They had 2 children, Jackson and Wella, who reportedly struggled with their parents' high expectations and emotional distance. Though the couple remains married, friends have described the relationship as quietly fractured, with the 2 often living in separate residences. After Charm, Reed found himself typecast, with substantial acting opportunities slipping away. He grappled with depression and financial insecurity, selling off properties to maintain a modest lifestyle. Now 71 years old, Reed resides quietly in Santa Barbara, California, teaching acting part-time. His current net worth is estimated at around $750,000, far from the peak of his career earnings. Jenya Lano, who played Inspector Sheridan on Charmed, at just 26 years old, brought an intense, sharp-edged determination to her role as the detective chasing supernatural mysteries. Behind her fierce on-screen persona, Lano's personal life spiraled into a series of private tragedies. Her brief marriage to filmmaker Marcus Heller collapsed after only 3 years, undone by jealousy and the pressures of maintaining 2 demanding careers. She did not have children, citing personal turmoil and a hectic lifestyle as reasons. Lano struggled to maintain steady acting work after Charm, often taking minor roles in independent films that failed to revive her career. Battling issues of loneliness and anxiety, she briefly disappeared from the public eye, retreating to Italy to live with distant relatives. Friends recall her struggles with substance abuse and financial distress during this period. Now 51, she has returned to Los Angeles, focusing on voiceover work and occasional small TV roles. Lano lives a modest life, with an estimated estate valued around $300,000, a stark contrast to the bright future many once predicted for her. Marnette Patterson, who portrayed Christy Jenkins. Billy's tragically manipulated sister was 26 during the final season of Charmed. She delivered a raw, emotional performance that showcased both Christy's vulnerability and her dark manipulation. Off-screen, Patterson's life bore haunting similarities to the troubled characters she played. She married James Verzino, a financial advisor, in what friends describe as a strained marriage overshadowed by his infidelities and her battles with body image issues stemming from her early fame. They have one child, a daughter named London, though sources close to the family describe a tense, often cold dynamic between Patterson and her husband. After Charmed, her career stumbled. She was frequently overlooked for major roles, leading to sporadic appearances in low-budget films. Financial instability and public rumors about marital troubles plagued her. Now 44 years old, she lives in a small suburban home in California, away from the spotlight she once courted. Her estimated net worth is approximately $400,000, and she has shifted focus toward mental health advocacy, inspired by her own lifelong struggles. Who is your favorite character from Charmed? How does it feel knowing that some of the actors are no longer with us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on future uploads. Thank you for your support.